But we're going to talk about winners.
We're going
so
to
don't
ruin the
spoil.
video. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Not a single hot take in here.
None.
Not at all.
Every single one, perfect pick.
Globally accepted.
Are we allowed to
Universal.
Are we allowed to kind of like say if we had different picks?
I was gonna.
Yes.
Yes, you are allowed to have your own opinion on
Okay.
the show. Despite the Google lawsuit said you couldn't, but now you are allowed to.
I'm free. I'm free.
All right, let's go down the list.
Okay.
Let's go down the list. See if you guys agree. If you
Wait,
have other
is the
thoughts.
Wikipedia
Okay,
page
I like that.
updated already?
Probably.
Oh, I haven't
Almost
checked.
definitely.
Let me check.
Whoever does this is incredible. How quickly they have this.
There's a new
page.
category. Yeah, it's updated.
2023. Oh, and the new category too. That's so cool.
All right, so this is the spoiler. This is the first year we have a new category. So we have an extra trophy, an extra award now to give out. So we'll go through these and let us know your thoughts. This is fun. I'm actually excited to see if you guys have other thoughts because let's chime in too if you have any. All right.
Oh yeah.
First, best big phone. I feel like this was the one. This wasn't necessarily a super easy one or hard one, but it's S23 Ultra for me. This is just a boring phone that does everything well at being big. Phones are like roughly all the same size as far as big phones now. Like 6.8 inches is like the size of a big phone. And this has an incredible screen. It has all of the cameras. It has 2 telephoto cameras. It has a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. It has multitasking features. It has a stylus built in.
The stylus. That's what I was just looking up.
Yes,
again. Like,
it's got
Stylus is
everything.
dope. Yeah.
Yeah. So I gave a runner-up to the OnePlus Open and honorable mentions to the Find X6 Pro and the ROG Phone 7, but I do stand by S23 Ultra best big phone.
Yep.
I kind of agree with that. This one was a little bit difficult because it's like, how do you define big when you have folding phones that exist?
I agree. I think this was an argument I used to make with best small phone because I thought the Flip, in terms of like
Yeah.
pocket size, was small and
Okay,
it
let's
packed
jump
a
right
big
to
punch.
that.
Well, I don't want to
or
cut
do you
David
want-
off. I was
yeah.
cutting David off. He had more
I
thought,
want to
yeah.
say something I really like about that Galaxy S23 Ultra that makes it feel like a truly like big phone is the bezels are insanely small on that phone. Like you look at that screen and it's just like you can barely see any bezel. It's like all screen.
Yeah.
So from screen to body ratio on that thing is crazy, and it's not even like curved over the sides or anything to try to make it seem even more screen than it actually is. So
Would you say
Thanks for pretty good.
Samsung's the king at screen to body ratio?
they're probably
They've been doing it for a long time. They
they're
always seem to
probably
have the high
higher
numbers. Yeah.
screen to body ratio companies from in like
Oh,
China, but it feels the best, I would
Okay,
say.
yeah.
And it's also like it's a 1440p like LTPO, high brightness, high accuracy. Like
Yeah.
it's a great screen.
It feels boring to give it to Samsung because one, their products now come out in January, so it's been so much time since it came out.
It's also impressive though that they can pull off a win when they're arguably 10 months behind.
1-year-old phone.
Yeah, they're actually a
That's
processor
crazy.
behind now.
Yeah.
They're already a processor behind.
Yeah, I thought about giving out the OnePlus Open, which is a phone we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But yeah, Find X6 Pro is like it's really close.
good.
It just didn't have the extra zoom. ROG Phone 7 doesn't have wireless charging.
Yeah.
It does have much better speakers though. So I was just kind of like,
yeah.
this is the boring one. It just is.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, best compact phone, best small phone. This is a funny one too because phones have been stratifying, and all the small, perfect, all the small ones
you had
have
that.
gotten down to like a 6.1 inch screen. Like the smallest, like the Pixel 7a is 6.1 inch. The
Yeah. smallest
smallest S23, 6.1.
Yeah.
The smallest iPhone, I believe, is 6.1, corner to corner. So they're all not that small. And the Zenfone 10, which I'm giving like the clear head and shoulders win for best small phone, is 5.9.
baby.
It's actually reachable.
Yeah.
And it has a ton of features. And it happens to also be an incredible phone.
It's
like
so
a
good.
physics-defying
In every way.
flagship. Surprisingly good cameras. Really surprisingly good battery life.
Yeah, like
very,
really good.
very
The
good
battery on this
camera.
is wild.
It's an excellent all-around phone, and it happens to be the only reachable one.
And it has something that the best big phone doesn't have, which is a headphone jack.
It does.
I still think that's crazy.
$599. It's got an insanely fast processor. Insanely good battery life. It's got wireless charging.
It
It's
fits the
tiny.
back.
I honestly think it's nearly flawless.
That was mine, yeah.
And by the way, they're probably not going to make another small one. All the rumors are pointing to the
Really?
Zenfone 11 Ultra.
I'm really
no
nervous.
Zenfone 11. So
I've been using it since it came out, so
So several months?
yeah, I love it. My biggest gripe, the ultra wide camera is not the best.
yeah,
It sucks.
Which I've just like been realizing more lately because I'll be holding Lane in my arms and take a picture, and I'm like, oh, that's not that great of a picture. But yeah, but no, I love it. Yeah, I have like nothing bad to really
Yeah,
say about it.
it's so good.
It's great.
Can you show the MagSafe thing on the back of your
It's
phone?
just like this MagSafe sticker.
So you can buy these things now. I recommend this
Yeah,
to everybody on their Android phone because then you can use MagSafe accessories.
It snaps on.
Yeah.
It 3Ms on.
Yeah.
My only gripe with it is it comes with this really great little thing that plugs into the USB-C and then has a guide to exactly where, but it's only for like popular phones. So like it'll do it on like all the Samsung phones. You can line it up perfectly. I had to place it on a MagSafe wireless charger and then like gently put the phone above it till it charged and then like press down on the phone.
Oh wow.
But
You know what you need?
anyways,
Magnet paper.
Oh, true.
it would just look exactly like the sticker that's on it.
Oh, exactly.
Oh.
That would have been helpful.
And then you could see exactly.
It does
what
come
the
in a pack
ring
of
is,
2.
and then move it over.
They're like $8 also.
Really?
On Amazon. I'll
good.
have.
Yeah.
Maybe we can put a link. In
I
the
first saw
description.
this. Dan Seifert from The Verge added it to his Pixel Fold, and then now Alex has it on his Pixel Fold too.
It's great.
It's great. It's great.
I gave an honorable mention for the best small phone to the Z Flip 5 for the reason you were talking about. It is able to fold down smaller and it has a tiny screen on the outside that is usable. So when you open it, it's still a 6.7-inch screen. It's a big phone again, but it has the ability to be small, so I gave it that.
My counter argument against that is that I really like the Razr more.
Really?
I think the Razr feels a little bit cheaper, but I think it has a lot more character. Samsung phones, to me, feel like they have zero character.
So I agree, but it's again kind of in that boring light where like I think the Razr has worse cameras, worse battery, worse software.
Yep.
But-
Well, I like the software better on the Razr.
And I don't know about, I didn't use battery long enough to know if it's a worse battery life. But
It's got a terrible camera. The Razr
bad.
in low light is one of the worst cameras
Yeah.
I've ever seen.
so I think like as far as flipping phones, like Samsung leads the pack. And again, we're going to talk about foldables later, but like just build quality and just the ability to be the best and have all the features, seemed like that's head and shoulders above the rest. Like there's a couple flipping Oppos and flipping Huawei's, but this is the one.
Yeah,
So
that makes sense.
all right, next category, best camera, iPhone 15 Pro. It is the best overall camera in a smartphone for me, and this is coming from a person who shoots a lot of videos on smartphone and takes a lot of photos. And I think when you just look at photos, you can easily sway me off of this. Like there are others that take better photos. You could sway me to my honorable mention, which was the S23 Ultra with that 10x zoom, crushes the iPhone zoom. 15 Pro Max even had a little bit of an extra zoom. But there are things that like, yeah, there are others that do better low light, that just have better photo features. Pixel you could argue for, all the AI features. But then video is a huge part of smartphone cameras too. And this always solidifies the iPhone for me because the video coming out of the iPhone is still so much better than all the rest. They added log this year. They added the ability to shoot to an external SSD this year. You can genuinely shoot excellent video on an iPhone in a massive variety of situations, which makes it the head and shoulders camera king.
Yeah. I think that all of the features they added for like vlog recording and all of the professional features, their USB-C recording to an external hard drive, all that stuff, I think that definitely like makes it a lot better. I will say though that I think that the dual exposure pixel thing they added to the Pixel 8 Pro this year made the video capabilities way better.
Yeah.
You shot an autofocus episode on the Pixel 8 Pro,
I did.
and everyone was commenting like, this looks really freaking good.
Love the colors out of it. The stabilization was a little bit shifty at times, but it was very sharp and had awesome color, and I loved that about it.
Yeah.
So, and the mics were pretty good too. I mean, I need to shoot more in like less windy places to like really get a good idea of the mics. But I was using the background wind removal
Reduction.
feature, and it was pretty good. So
Yeah.
it's good.
Right.
It was good. But and again, both of them need more manual controls. But if you ask me if I could only use one smartphone camera for the next couple of years, I'm doing iPhone 15.
Yeah. Pixel 8 Pro did add all the manual controls for the photo mode, which was really dope.
Love that.
So,
Yeah.
I do have a question here before we move on to honorable mentions. And I saw it on Reddit. People are wondering, when you say iPhone 15 Pro, and now looking at some old things here, sometimes you said like the Pro and the Pro Max. In 2020, you only said Pro Max. Last couple of years, you've only said Pro. Are you kind of lumping them together, or because there is a distinction this year?
Yeah.
There is,
Minimal,
telephoto.
but the telephoto.
3 to 5x lenses. That's it.
Correct me if I'm, the log stuff wasn't.
No, it's
is on both.
Okay. Both, yeah. And this one, I'm lumping them together. You're right. There is a different telephoto, and I think they both are head and shoulders above the rest, so they get lumped together in that way. If there was a bigger difference between the two, I would pick the one that's better, which I think because of the extra zoom on the 5x on the Pro Max, you could argue that that's better. I think some people who just use 3x zoom would be totally
You
fine
could
with
argue
it.
that's just preference at that point.
Yeah, it's a
What
small
would you
difference,
rather,
honestly.
yeah.
Having shot with both, it's not a giant difference. Samsung has a 10x, like that's a big
Yeah.
difference. These two, I'm just putting iPhone 15 and 15 Pro together at the top.
Okay, so if anyone wondering, you're talking about both.
Or 15
Okay,
Pro
yes.
and 15 Pro
Pro
Max.
and
So,
Pro
yeah,
Max.
sorry,
Yeah.
Pro and Pro Max,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I gave the honorable mention to S23 Ultra for the photo stuff. And if you want to know, the winners of the blind smartphone camera test after a few million votes,
Yeah, let's talk about that.
we've got them. So in standard mode, which was just a photo of me in front of the window in daylight, the winner for all of the masses was Pixel 7a.
Let's go.
Second place.
Damn.
Phones
Right?
always win. I love
Didn't
it.
the A phone win last year too?
Yeah,
right?
it did.
It won last year.
Yeah.
The second place was the Pixel Fold, and the third place was the OnePlus Open.
So am I correct? The Pixel Fold has the same sensor as the Pixel 7?
I don't think so. I think they told me it was new
It's
sensors.
new, but it's the same
Oh.
size.
same megapixel count.
Okay.
Same 50 megapixels.
My theory, which has been true since the Pixel 6 in my opinion, is that Google updated, they keep updating the sensor size, but that algorithm is still made for the smaller sensors, and they have not updated the algorithm. And so it's made for this small sensor world where you have to like do a bunch of noise reduction and all this other stuff. So that algorithm like isn't very necessary for the larger sensors now, which is why the smaller sensor pixels keep winning. Because it works better on the smaller sensor pixels, whereas the new ones, I've noticed that like pixels can overexpose really easily now, and like there's a lot of
Get a little HDR-y
yeah.
process. Yeah, a little over-processed sometimes.
They don't really know how to handle all the extra light you're getting from the big sensor.
It got a little more interesting in the other categories as well. But yeah, I was interested to see like Pixel 1, 2.
Yeah,
Not 8 Pro though, just 7a and Pixel Fold.
which
Interesting.
again, smaller sensors.
Interesting.
Just saying.
So then we got to low light, and the winner for the low light was iPhone 15 Pro for the masses.
That's kind of surprising.
That made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
Again, these are all full auto. The second place was Pixel 8 Pro, and the third place was Pixel 7a.
Wow.
Again.
Pixel dominating.
So Pixel's showing up as 2-3, but iPhone 15 Pro having the best low light photo. These, for whatever reason, I mean, we took this on the roof with me in front of like the city background. I'm dimly lit. A lot of HDR going on. You can see like a halo around my head in some of them, and they brightened me up, which was cool, but they looked a little weird.
There was a Reddit post that somebody, the haloing was so bad that somebody was like, what's happening? Did this
Yeah.
get messed up? It's like, no,
Semantic
some phones just are
segmentation.
not great at doing
Yeah,
it.
man.
Yeah.
When I imported them, looking at them all side by side, I'm convinced like 2 of them darkened the sky and brightened my face to make it more like poppy. Yeah. It looked cool in the moment, but it was like, that's not a natural photo.
Yeah.
That's not what I look like in that moment.
Wait, David, why did iPhone surprise you for?
Because the low light performance is like not generally something that Apple like hyper focuses on, but I think that their color in low light was better than almost everybody else.
It had the most natural color. We only did 3 photos, so there's a ton of other variables that were not tested. I think if you had a moving subject, this would have been very different because some of them automatically did a long exposure for low light, some didn't. The iPhone, I think, did a 2-second exposure for this particular shot. Some of them were just like, bam, single shot, blast the HDR. And if you were like moving, that would work because I would be like frozen, but the iPhone would have me blurred.
Right.
So there's a bunch of variables that weren't tested here, but for this me sitting still outside in the dark, pretty good.
Okay.
Last one, portrait mode, which was just me cut out from a background, normal looking shot. The winner was the Pixel 8 Pro. Second place was actually the Samsung Z Fold 5, interestingly. And third place was the iPhone 15 Pro. The portrait mode shots had the biggest variance between them all. Different focal lengths, different cutout strengths, different color characteristics, lots of stuff going on.
Yeah.
I think I also ended up with my winner being Pixel 8 Pro here. But yeah, Pixel podiumed on every single type of test.
That's
which is
crazy.
interesting.
You know what's wild is that we tested 20 different phones, tons of different manufacturers, and the only 3 manufacturers that landed were Google, Apple, and Samsung.
And a OnePlus Open.
Oh, the OnePlus Open, right.
Grabbed a bronze medal in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like watching the Olympics. We're like, dang, it's the same 5 countries.
Well, the funny thing is, like, these are the 3 companies that everyone says, like, oh, their cameras are not actually as good as they say they are. actually these other companies are better. But then they win the blind test.
This is as voted
Yeah.
by you guys.
Right.
This is not me and my winners. This is I put them all up blind, and you guys voted millions of times, and these are the ones that had the highest ELO ratings at the end for each category.
I picked the Vivo for the
Yeah,
portrait
mine-
mode.
There's a lot of time.
My
Vivo
winners
sneaks in there a lot.
My
I-
winners were a little different from this list.
Yeah, mine were really different from this list.
I think my highest standard was the OnePlus 11.
Oh,
Weirdly,
I had the Fairphone 5.
you did.
Wow.
I remember that. That was a surprising one, actually.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Also, for anyone wondering why we didn't do a full video on this year, it's just like camera improvements are pretty minimal every year. So like we found when we used to do the bracket style, the video each year kind of was very similar, but we still wanted to play the game because it's fun for the audience. So that's why this year the website was up. You just straight up got your results. There's no waiting till the end. And then we just tacked it into the smartphone awards. We do plan on doing a video either the next time we see a significant, big, interesting thing, or probably like every couple years where we feel like the camera improvements are getting exponentially
And
bigger.
there's some big changes, big
Yeah.
learnings, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Couple more. Big. My value award. This was just a bloodbath. It could have been any one of like 5 phones. I ended up going with the one that again almost feels like it's too easy of a pick. It's just a bland middle, everything you need, nothing you don't. A54. I think it launched at $400. I think it's like close to 330, 320 bucks now.
Samsung Galaxy A54 for those that don't know.
Samsung Galaxy
Yeah.
A54.
Yeah.
Awesome 54. That's what they want to call it.
Awesome magenta.
Yeah, literally, my analogy in the video was like, you know how someone asks you how your day is, and you're like, it's fine. It's fine. How's the screen? It's fine. How's the cameras?
How was
Fine.
work? It's fine.
Fingerprint reader? It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Battery life? It's fine.
Fine.
It's the
Yeah.
default skin of
Yeah.
of like
It's the generic
smartphones,
phone
yeah.
that you get,
Yeah.
and it's fine because like that's all you need,
Yeah.
and it's everything you need. So it's totally reasonable pick for most people to just live with that phone. So I like it. I gave my runner-up to the Moto G Play, which impressed me at $169,
Crazy.
and an honorable mention to the Pixel 7a, which is $500 now, but did actually get noticeable improvements and is a really good phone.
Yeah.
I think the Zenfone 10 is a great value.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
I do think value generally should stray less, but
Yeah.
$600 for a phone that I
Yeah.
switched from like very good pixels and
Yeah.
very happy with.
That's a
For
great
flagship
point.
specs too.
Yeah, little Stan over here. Yeah,
But you could buy 3 Moto G plays.
I'd rather have one Zenfone. It's not that good. Like, the G is impressive because you are getting like a pretty big screen. It's
90
90
hertz.
hertz, and it's like very usable. Because when you test, I've tested some really cheap phones, and when you go down in price, they get slow, and they get real bad software support. And that one was at least decent at everything, so I was happy about that. But you're right. I felt like there was like a cap to what I could give a value
no, for
award
sure.
to.
I agree.
Like I wanted to. I don't know. Could I give
Well, we
an
did.
$800
We
phone?
gave Pixel 6 and Pixel 7 twice best value because those were this year it went up $100 on both
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
But previously those values were
Really good.
they were up higher, but they were super worth it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Best battery award. iPhone 15 Plus. 2-day phone. There's not a lot of phones I can say that about. And it's a 60 hertz phone. And the other 2 phones that I mentioned, if you set them to 60 hertz, are also 2-day phones.
Yeah.
Which are the ROG Phone 7, which had a 6,000 milliamp hour battery, I believe, and
Yeah.
the Zenfone 10, which if you set it at 60 hertz, is going to be a 2-day phone.
Yeah.
ROG Phone 7 does not have wireless charging.
No.
Zenfone 10 does not have particularly fast charging, but it's still good.
I think it's 30 watts.
Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah.
This is the largest battery ever in an iPhone, and I just couldn't kill it, and I just had to give it the award. It's that good.
Yeah.
Looking real quick, looking at this list on Wikipedia, in 2014, your first year, you did not do a best battery award. I've never noticed that. You also didn't do best foldable that year.
That's true.
weird.
That's
No.
weird.
But no, I'm like
Flip phone.
best battery feels like one. Actually, funny enough, the categories have been exactly the same since 2014, except for that first year no best battery, which seems kind of like
Yeah, and I changed the
The
design
standard?
award. The design
Oh,
award
yeah,
started
yeah.
off as like best build quality, and then it was,
Yeah.
and then I just changed it to craziest design, and now it's just something design award related.
yeah something that was a little outside of the box or
Which we're about to
interesting.
get
Or
into.
noteworthy
Yeah.
design. So let's do that one. Design award. This was actually it started off being the hardest one to give, and then it turned out being the easiest one. Because it's always like, I can't give this to like a plastic phone. I can't give this to a phone that doesn't have a headphone jack. I can't give this to a phone that doesn't have like flat display and like all the things that we need a phone to have. So it's going to end up being a boring one. It's going to end up being like the S23 Ultra or something.
I'll argue a plastic phone that could have been mentioned. The Fairphone,
I've got an argument for this one
because
too.
the Fairphone, like design-wise, is designed to be replaced and stuff like that. I'm not saying it should have won, but that is a plastic one that does have a different design choice that
is
should
fair.
be applauded.
Definitely a notable design, and in that particular way, it's interesting. It's still a thicker phone. It's still, is it water? I think it is water resistant, but it's still compromised a little bit.
Okay. I'm not saying it should have won. I'm
I
just
like
saying that like plastic shouldn't immediately.
Fair.
You can do good things with plastic.
Fair.
Plastic, revolutionary.
I did disqualify plastic.
What
But,
else is crumple phone?
Oh, best design award? No, it's 2021's iPhone 12 mini, baby. Listen, okay, listen.
Okay.
I had to get the back glass repaired on this guy a little bit ago. And I went to the Apple store with my Apple Care, and it took forever. It took like 6 hours for them to do this. And so I finally came to pick up my phone, and naturally I was like, what was going on, right? And the technician was like, I'm so excited that I get to sit down with you and talk to you about this. He said, first of all, you have, and this is a quote, the collector's iPhone. He described this as the best iPhone one could own, and he said specifically it's because it is the strongest iPhone Apple has made since the X. That is the word from the
Strongest?
technician.
What does
He
that
said,
mean?
Well, I just like
it's
that he-
so hard. Not only is it so hard to break these things, which I can attest to because I know case and I drop it every single day.
But you did break it.
I know you were at a
know that.
repair appointment. That's what
Okay.
I was trying to like. That's so funny.
But he was explaining that the railing and front glass of the 12 mini is so strong, it's almost impossible for even a technician to take them apart without completely breaking the entire
You know what's funny is that's why they changed the way that the iPhone 14 was made, that to make it easier to take the back off, because it was too hard to repair and it was costing them too much
I
money.
think that was
so
this
they
year.
made
It was all
15.
one piece.
Anyway, this is all to say, greatest iPhone ever made in my hands.
I would argue that the
Triple 12
13 mini is better because it has much better battery life,
Well, if it's just the design award,
but it doesn't come in purple. so-
I have to disqualify them both because they didn't come out this year.
Yeah. Also, fact check, that was 2020, not
Yeah.
2021.
Oh, either way,
Yeah.
this phone is pretty much brand new, so I think it's eligible.
Ellis's iPhone 12.
Yeah, refurbished. Yeah.
One best design.
No, I gave it to the Honor Magic V2.
Right. Oh, I
Because
forgot we didn't.
it
That phone
made,
was dope.
yeah, it was incredibly. It was just a physics-defying
Yeah.
phone again.
Yeah.
9.9 millimeters, biggest battery in a foldable. Just that by itself is like, wait, hold
5,000 million hours. It's crazy.
It has the full triple camera array. It has like all the folding phone stuff, corner outside screen, great aspect ratio, really good design.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
shout out to them.
Pretty
And it's a
crazy.
folding phone. It's
Yeah.
crazy because next category is the first ever best folding phone trophy. New award for 2023.
Did you guys get tagged on Twitter a bunch? Because apparently, like 6 months ago, we said,
Yes.
"Oh, we're gonna do the new folding phone category." When it happens, say you can tell people you knew about this because of the podcast. And I forgot
Oh,
we
yeah.
said that. And I just got a bunch of tweets like
Yeah.
at me. I was like,
Yeah, I guess.
"What happened?"
We also said we'd pin the comment of whoever tweeted at us first.
Oh,
So we need to
good
find,
luck, Adam. I did. Someone did say you know what to do, and I was like, I do not.
Yeah.
So
we need to
thank you.
find the first person that tweeted at us, and we will we'll pin the comment. For
Yeah,
this.
gonna be
let me try and find the
So-
first person who tweeted.
You got
while
this,
you go
Adam.
through. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's the OnePlus Open this year. It's the best folding phone that came out this year. It's the most complete. It is a full flagship, a total banger. Like, the screens are awesome, super bright, super responsive, super high-end specs, great battery, full-on cameras. You saw it get that bronze medal. It had really good cameras. And the software was actually really good. Little bit of interesting new multitasking features with the way they organize the different windows around the panels. So
Yeah.
if you made me pick a foldable to daily, that's the one I would pick. I would pick it by a slim margin personally over the Pixel Fold, which I gave my runner-up because that, for whatever reason, well, I know why. It's because it's the aspect ratio and size, the passport stuff. It's awesome to use it closed,
Yeah.
which is awesome.
Yeah.
But it's a folding phone, so I got to open it sometimes, and
Yeah.
it's not as good open. So that was my runner-up, and honorable mention to the Z Flip 5. both because it's the best flipping phone and also because it feels like Samsung's were the only ones that didn't have some sort of build issues, whether it's the screen or the hinge or something like that. Samsung's been at it the longest, and they're doing the safest design, which is why they didn't win awards. But honorable mention for being durable.
Yeah, I'll say the Pixel Fold's interior to screen is pretty bad.
Yeah, the bezels are pretty big.
It's just like it doesn't look like it's kind of oily. It just doesn't look nearly as good as something like the OnePlus Open or the Honor Magic B2.
The OnePlus Open has almost no crease too.
Yeah, it's very good.
It's basically the same exact hardware as the Oppo Find like N3 Fold or whatever it's called. But
it is the exact same hardware.
Yeah, same hardware.
Yeah,
it's good.
I really wish that Oppo kept making the small passport foldables, but they stopped with the Find N2 Fold.
Oh, they stopped.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
At least so far, because they switched to a much bigger phone. That's part of the reason I really like the Pixel Fold is because it's
Just
shorter.
that size,
Yeah. So.
Also, alert slider. Didn't even mention that.
Oh, right.
All right. I also did a Most Improved award. I kind of like this one. Just like, let's acknowledge the biggest delta between last year and this year. And I ended up giving this one to the Nothing Phone 2. Yes, the hardware is slightly improved, and it has like a new curved back and better LEDs and more control over the glyph and stuff like that. But also a big software jump in the whole rewrite they did with Nothing OS, and now it's on Android 14 with Nothing OS 2.5. And it has a lot of character.
And it has iMessage.
And it's got the blue... Oh, wait.
Uh-oh.
No, wait, sorry, no. No,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
No.
They don't have that anymore.
Close.
But the phone itself...
Deep cut.
Yeah. I mean, that would have locked them into the spot for sure if they'd gotten that through, but it doesn't have blue bubbles. But it is still really good. And I gave my runner-up to the iPhone 15 because they've had Lightning for a decade. And it has USB-C this year. That's crazy. So there you go.
That is a big improvement.
Must improve. A lot of other phones were like almost the same as last year.
Yeah.
And like Zenfone 10, I'm glad it's almost the same as last year. I'm not mad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
It's just slightly better.
Yeah.
In every way.
Bust of the year. The Solana Saga crypto phone. Now listen. Listen. I hear you. I'm not ignoring you. I hear you. There are a lot of people, mainly on Twitter, mainly with crypto in their bio, who have a lot of thoughts about how the resale price of this phone has gone up so much because you got to spend like $2,000 to get one on eBay now. Did you know that?
Yeah.
They're like reselling
$2,500
because all the bonk and all the what is the crypto
Dinosaurs
that
and
you
the
get?
free honeybee toy or
All of
whatever.
those-
No. It's called Beamium. Get it right.
All of the stuff
Sorry.
that you get with the phone at the moment
It's worth
is very valuable.
money.
All of the limited edition NFTs and stuff that you get with the phone are actually quite valuable at this point. So if you didn't buy the phone, you missed out on a bag. You could have sold it for $1,000 on eBay.
Generational wealth.
Here's the thing. That doesn't make it a good phone.
Also,
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Also, on top of that, we have always said that we judge these phones for this based on release MSRP and things that happened at release.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of times by the time we're into this, people are like, no, the Samsung phone's so much cheaper now. The value should be this, or my T-Mobile gives me buy one, get one free. And those are great deals. And bonk is cool that it's bonking off or whatever. But like, it did not happen when the phone came out and when we first looked at the phone.
Solana was
And we don't get to. If anything, did we shoot the smartphone awards already before
Yeah.
this spike happened?
We did actually.
Yeah.
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 So the other thing is like, okay, this was it was $1,000 when it came out, whatever. Then it was $600 when I reviewed it. But the actual phone itself isn't good. So this was let's just say it's a normal $600 phone. It had a pretty solid build quality. This is the thing. This was made by the same team that made the Essential Phone 1.
Yeah.
And it was made of ceramic, and it was heavy, and it had the colored buttons, and it had like a nice design. It was like a Fairphone, but made of ceramic. It was cool.
Yeah, true.
Fingerprint reader on the back. That's a throwback. I liked it. It was a throwback design. But then from that point on, you got worse SoC, pretty bland display. You got
Bad viewing
4,100 milliamp hour battery, which in a big is not enough. Cameras were not good, just straight up not good. And then the software is basically stock. They didn't add anything to the software experience other than the Solana features.
The App Store.
The dApp Store, exactly, with the developers of the dApp Store. So I will add this asterisk for you. If you are a really invested Solana holder already,
Or even into
I
crypto.
still-
if you
No,
are
no, but it's like not even in
but
crypto.
not
You
even in
have to be
crypto.
like into
Oh,
the
it's specific,
Solana
okay.
chain.
And
Yeah.
the thing about the App Store too is that you can't only use the apps on the Solana.
You sound like you're a
Saga.
hiccup while saying App Store.
It's not like you can only use the apps on the Solana Saga. You can use them on any Android phone. It's just a curated list of apps.
I mean, you get the Seed Vault. There were a couple things that were built into the phone.
Yeah. The Seed Vault is cool.
Which is why I will say, if you are like all in to that ecosystem, then that feature may push it over the edge for you to want to still spend $600, or I guess go to eBay now and spend $2,000 on a phone with a subpar display, subpar battery life, subpar cameras, and subpar software, because you have that feature working for you. In which case, the runner-up is the bust of the year, which is all of the concept phones that didn't come out this year. You know who you are.
The Solana phone came with a really cool USB cable that had a little switch that allowed you to do only charging or charging plus data.
Still use that cable.
And they were selling it on Amazon for like $30, but I can't find it now.
So that makes it a good. Just kidding.
MVP.
Yeah. Okay.
MVP.
Also, if you thought Marquez, who doesn't talk about crypto at all, was going to think this was like the greatest phone ever for someone who doesn't use crypto, I just don't know what to say.
I tried to give it a chance. I tried to like actually review it as a person who didn't have to spend the money. I bought the phone. No, I didn't. I got the phone to me, and then I gave it a chance, which I didn't have to. And I really like started to use the phone for a while. So that is my L of the year. And now we get to the W of the year, which is the phone of the year, the MVP. There's a bunch of ways to find this one. I could just say it's my favorite phone of the year, the most impactful, the most well-rounded, whatever. But my phone of the year is the Pixel 8. Google 8. And it's a nice graduation to finally, like, I think starting to hit the stride of what they intended when they started making Pixel, which it took a couple years. We're on Tensor G3 now. We're on like this new third generation of this thing that they started doing. But awesome screen, much brighter, 120 hertz, LTPO.
Well, for Pro.
No, the Pixel 8 as well.
Really?
120 hertz, yeah. It's not quite as bright, but it's still 2,000 plus nits. It's an awesome screen. It's a really, really good camera, as we already know. Tons and tons of clever software features. The only thing I don't like about it is the artificial gating of features from the Pro phone.
Right.
Which is almost like not its fault. Like if that Pro phone didn't exist, then all these features would be on this phone too. But honestly, 7 years software updates kind of sealed it in for me. I think that's an awesome promise, and if they deliver, I have no regrets about this being phone of the year.
There were some gates that were a little bit more legitimate. Like I did a lot of research into how Video Boost works, and you actually do need a lot of RAM to make that work. Yeah. So I think the 12 gigs of RAM versus the 8 actually did help it. But I think that a lot of the features were artificially gated. So
100%.
Yeah, but 7 years of software updates is crazy.
Yeah. I did have some a runner-up, which is the Zen 10.
Yeah.
The nearly flawless Zen Phone 10.
I think that's my phone of the year. It's the Zen Phone 10.
Really good.
Personally.
It's really good.
Yeah.
I kind
And
of dig
then it's missing a few software features for me, which I still keep coming back to the Pixel.
Yeah.
And then honorable mentions to the iPhone 15 Pro, which is just a rock-solid phone that finally has USB Type. The S23 Ultra being the boring one generation of chip old flagship that's still incredibly good, and the OnePlus Open, best foldable of the year.
Yeah.
So that's my smartphone awards.
And the Solana phone.
And not a single hot take in here. I like the awards. If you guys want to watch the full video and all the breakdowns, and even though you already know the winners, you can still sort of enjoy the lead up and the descriptions of each phone. You can watch the smartphone awards. We'll link it below.
But you know what we should insert right now?
Trivia!
I just want to say, if this is not cheese trivia based on Marquez's cheese answer before, I'm going to be a little upset.
Monterey Jack.
It better be
In what state?
a Gouda question.
Oh, it is. All right. Activity Pub, everyone's favorite decentralized social media network protocol.
Blue Sky would like a word. The app protocol. But anyway, continue.
Oh, right, because they don't use...
They don't use it. They have their
Activity
own
Pub.
at protocol. But anyway, continue.
I wonder how that's going.
But go on.
It's actually an iteration on an earlier protocol with a very similar name. Was that similar name A, Activity Pup, B, Activity Pump, C, Shacktivity Pub, or D, Activity Plum?
Is Shacktivity like Shaq the
Like
basketball
Shaquille
player?
O'Neal, yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
Shaq.
I have explanations for all these. I figure we'll save them for
Okay,
the
cool.
end.
Okay.
I have my own explanation for the first one already.
For Activity Pup, is it about Dogecoin? Because if
No,
so,
it's
you'd
about,
be right.
It's about Woof.
Oh, like the farm thing?
No, like the fake app in the office where you send a woof and it sends like to every single device that you have.
No, unfortunately, it's about Dogecoin.
Okay. I'm not
But we'll
answering.
get to that
After the break.
after the break.
Are Bonk and Dogecoin connected?
No.
Support for this episode of Waveform comes from Shopify. Life is complicated, whether you're trying to renew your driver's license or figure out that expired sour cream in the back of your fridge. Is it still good or not? I don't know. Every day offers new challenges that are more annoying than they should be. If you're running your own business, you know how tiring it is to deal with all those little snags. Shopify offers a cleaner, simpler path forward. Shopify can help your business succeed at every single stage of the journey. So whether you're launching your online shop or opening that first brick and mortar location, or expanding to new markets all over the country, Shopify's all-in-one platform has you covered, wherever and whatever you're selling. Collect payments in person and online, track business-critical data, and use AI-generated insights to make your operation even more efficient. Shopify is the engine powering more than 10% of all e-commerce in the US, including major brands like Allbirds and Brooklinen. So see what their all-in-one platform can do for your business today. So sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/waveform. So go to shopify.com/waveform now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/waveform. Support for Waveform comes from Babbel. So we spend our earliest life stages doing astounding things, developing object permanence, learning a language, eating spaghetti with your hands. Incredibly, you can keep doing one of those things well into adulthood, and you won't need a bit for it. With Babbel, it's never too late to start learning a new language. Instead of paying $100 for a private tutor, Babbel's quick 10-minute lessons are designed by over 150 language experts to help you start speaking a new language in as little as 3 weeks. Babbel is designed by real people for real conversations. Their tips and tools are approachable, accessible, rooted in real-life situations, and delivered with conversation-based teaching. One study found that using Babbel for 15 hours is equivalent to a full college semester. So here's a special limited time deal for our listeners to get you started right now. Get 55% off your Babbel subscription, but only for our listeners, at babbel.com/waveform. That's 55% off babbel.com/waveform. Spelled BABBEL.com/waveform. Rules and restrictions may apply. All right, welcome back to the final section of Waveform. We got a couple quick car stories because cars are tech and there's some pretty good stories. First of all, Tesla says they are testing a wireless charging mat for your car. I don't believe you. Just kidding. I believe you. I just don't think this is shipping anytime soon. So basically what happened is Franz, the designer at Tesla, head designer, went on the Jay Leno show showing him the Cybertruck. And at some point, I think Jay Leno asked him about wireless charging. And Franz said, oh yeah, we're working on that. Yeah, you just drive your car over like a mat in your driveway and then don't even have to plug anything in to charge your car. I believe that you're working on it, just like you're working on the Roadster, which just means it's not likely to come out anytime soon. Here's why. Wireless charging is not efficient. And no matter how much you work on the tech, obviously there are some physics limitations. The one other car, this should answer any questions you might have about how soon it could come out. The one other car that has actually tried and shipped this exact feature is the $3.5 million McLaren Speedtail. The McLaren Speedtail is not an electric car. The McLaren Speedtail has a wireless charging puck that you can drive over or like slide underneath the car. That is basically a slow charging, like trickle charge tender for the battery in that gas car, like the little car battery in there.
Yeah.
Because this is a car that's basically, let's be honest, sitting in mostly garages and not being driven much. And people who own $3.5 million cars like that have a ton of other cars that they drive a lot. And so this is a car that's just going to sit in your driveway. So a lot of these cars come with slow trickle chargers. And they thought, this is a small enough battery that even if you get it slightly off center or don't drive quite to the center, this is a good trickle charger.
You know what? That also makes sense because how expensive is that car?
Millions of dollars.
Millions of dollars. But then you don't have to have like the wire rubbing up on it all the time when you have to keep it plugged in the garage. Now it's just free.
But yeah, the thing about wireless chargers is, and you can observe this with any phone, we love the MagSafe because it snaps it into place to get the exact alignment for ideal charging efficiency.
Yeah.
But if you're driving your car onto it, you could be to the left a little, to the right a little, you could go too far forward, you could go not enough forward, you could have your suspension too high, something. It just might not be in the exact ideal position. And so you could draw hundreds of extra watts of power from your wall that don't go into the car.
Yeah.
if you're just not quite on the right spot.
Also, that supercar that you were talking about, it's very low to the ground, which means it's going to be a lot closer contact to the inductive charger. And then, I mean, maybe the Roadster could do this if it's close enough to the ground, but most of Tesla's cars are at least raised a little bit, so you're going to lose more energy if you have
Stuff. It's a cool idea. I love the like futurism of thinking about it, but with today's tech, it's an insane idea.
It's-
That's all.
Like the biggest gripe about electric cars is how long it takes to charge. In the most, like at the absolute best charging rate right now, plugged in at a Tesla supercharger is still takes a long time comparison to gas cars. So now, before we've even really gotten that to like the best of its capabilities,
I mean, at least
or
this is home charging, right?
true, but even home charging, if you're using, how long does it take to go about full
Out of
on a
an outlet.
240 volt? Like an upgraded outlet. Let's give it the like.
Yeah, I have a 240. It charges at 11 kilowatts, so a couple hours overnight after a daily commute, and you're fine. It
Okay.
charges about 30 miles an hour in my battery pack. So that's plugged in at 11 kilowatts. If I don't know the exact percentage efficiency, I'm not even
Let's
going
give
to
it
try to
10
guess it,
miles an hour
but
on a wireless. That's
That-
probably
that would be pretty good. But
Okay.
you're still going to pull the full power from your wall. You're
Right.
just losing
You're
a lot.
wasting
to
a lot
heat.
of
yeah, you're just
energy.
wasting energy.
So that's tough.
And, like,
'cause the grid can't really do that.
They're definitely working on this. They purchased this German wireless car charging company, Wiferion, in July. Strange name.
Dude, super weird name.
Super weird name. Wiferion.
It sounds like an. Never mind.
Yeah.
Good call.
But they sold the company, but they ended up keeping the engineers. So they obviously are working on the technology. They probably just want a proprietary version.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to see what they end up with, but I don't doubt if it's going to take quite a while.
I bet anything the Roadster comes out before this.
Yeah.
They're
Wait, so yeah,
literally-
talk about your bet with Sawyer Merritt on
I
Twitter.
just bet him that exact bet.
Oh, okay.
He said, "This is why. Like, why do you not think it's coming out? Like, this is so far from today's tech." So, anyway,
I said, never mind. This is just a stupid thing to say online. Why do you think this isn't coming out? No, I just don't think it's coming out any time soon.
yeah, it's gonna be a long time.
You know, it'd be pretty cool if your Tesla had like brushes that could come out from the bottom or the top and make contact with electrical wires, so that you could charge while you drive.
You talking about a bus?
And then, yeah, then you could make the Tesla big enough for you and all your friends. And then it comes at a pre-planned time and route so you can drink.
Oh, so self-driving.
A bus.
Self-driving.
A bus. Okay.
Wait, what? Here's a question. What do you think comes first? Good wireless charging pad
Public
that
infrastructure.
can that can fit in your garage, or a Tesla bot that can just plug your car in for you?
Well, remember the early stages where they were testing that
The snake arm?
snake arm that would like look for the
And then
part
Simone
plug itself in?
Simone built one, didn't she?
She did.
Yeah.
Really?
That's another thing where I feel like there were too many variables.
Plugging it by itself.
Yeah, the snake arm to plug into your car because
I'm saying Tesla bot.
People are lazy,
Tesla
man.
bot.
Tesla bot can definitely deadlift wire.
Which one do you
Charging
think
wire.
will ship to real people first?
Yeah.
I think Tesla would ship the wireless car charger before Tesla bot.
Is
But
that
that's a whole nother take.
It's a whole nother
It's a whole nother take.
I mean, Tesla bot's supposed to do mundane things at your home that you don't want to do. So it can just meet me in the garage and plug my car in while I walk inside and slam the door in its face. And then it can break down all my cardboard boxes that I throw in the
Can't be
garage.
mean to Tesla bot. Everyone knows how that movie goes, Andrew. We can't
Oh,
be mean
man.
to it.
wait? Is the snake? Is that real? The
Yeah.
snake charger?
Yeah.
No, it's
I don't think it ever happened.
It's not a real.
They would
Was
say
it was like a marketing.
It was a marketing demo from 10 years ago, just like driving across the country. It was a
Yeah.
marketing demo from 10 years ago.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, okay.
Cool.
It's crazy. Wait,
Let's see your
just for a
bus
second.
have that.
It's just like crazy that like they're like, you know, Tesla, I think it's obvious. We have a little bit of a PR problem. People assume we don't have morally the right ideas. Let's have our charger embody the metaphor from the Bible for evil, a serpent. It's like, who? Never mind. Continue.
All right, well, we can move on. A couple other quick things. I think the last big domino has fallen with this NACS thing. The Volkswagen Group has finally committed to NACS in 2025. Volkswagen Group meaning that includes Audi and Porsche. So, you know, Taycan, e-tron, all of those EVs. At this point, I feel like it's safe to say everyone who currently ships a battery-powered EV has committed to NACS. All the dominoes have fallen.
There's
It took a
definitely one, and I can't wait to read the comment on
There's
the
going
one
to
we're
be a
missing.
comment, and if you say it's the Ram pickup truck, that doesn't ship for another year
We
and a
did
half.
discuss this, yeah.
If it's something else I'm missing, feel free to let me know. But Lucid was like the second to last domino. This is like, all right, Porsche, Audi, VW Group is in. All right, the big dominoes are all in. NACS is now the new North American charging standard, period.
Yeah. So, I mean, to add on to that, the Society of Automotive Engineers actually officially announced NACS as a standard very recently, last week, which we kind of missed last week, after Tesla released the specifications in 2022. That is a big deal because now the government is reassessing how they're going to allocate their $7.5 billion EV fund, which previously allowed NACS chargers, but it had to also have the Magic Dock that allowed CCS as well. Now, Tesla just did all this engineering to make the Magic Dock, and now they kind of don't need to make it anymore, considering all cars are switching by 2025.
Yeah, and the original thing was because to get the government subsidy, it had to be able to charge more than one
Type of car.
Of car. And who knows if that helps start this, but also like Tesla doing this, I'm sure licensing it all out is probably making a boatload of money.
Now that it's a standard, I don't know if they are licensing it out because they released the specifications in November 2022. I think at this point they don't care about licensing the port. They have the most
network
oil gas stations. They have the most gas stations, right? And if you use like the Tesla app and whatever at the gas station, that means that they're going to make the most money. Like they've kind of saturated the market in a lot of ways, and now they're just like, we already have the biggest network. Let's just make money as the gas station.
Yeah.
So
And they're still building more.
yeah.
One last headline. Mercedes. I thought this was actually pretty clever. I don't know why I like it so much. I kind of like it.
Okay.
Mercedes is adding, they got approval to add a special new colored light to the car that indicates when that car is currently self-driving. It's a turquoise colored light. So there's all these rules. I don't know exactly what countries this is going to be allowed in, but basically you can only have certain like amber or red colored lights or white colored headlights on your car. This is a new color they've gotten approval to add just for when the car is driving itself. I kind of like it. I kind of want to know.
Why?
when someone else is.
I want to know when the car is driving itself, and I don't know why. I don't actually.
I think you know why. You want to stay in an extra lane away from it.
No, I want to just blow right past it and not even think about it. Like, I think the human driver is actually more likely to make a weird erratic
To be
move.
aggressive, yeah.
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 So if a car is like stopped at like a stop sign for way too long, I'm not going to beep because it's self-driving. I'll just drive around because the car is clearly doing something dumb, and I'm just going to drive around it. It's just nice to know when it's messing up due to being self-driving. You know?
However, Mercedes does have a very good level 4. Is it level 4 self-driving?
They have pretty decent self-driving. I've tested. It was years ago that I tested it, so I haven't used it
A
lately.
lot of people have said recently that the Mercedes one is very good,
They do,
which
yeah.
is surprising. I would like to try that.
So there's going to be cars out there self-driving all the time.
When I see this, I feel like it semi reminds me of stickers that say like student driver, and which
on
then
board.
makes well, if it's like the baby on board one, it's like I wasn't gonna crash into you anyways, but I'll be extra careful around your
Student
baby.
driver, though, yeah.
The student driver one might actually prompt people to like. I've seen. Have you ever seen where it's like a student driver parked at a red light and they're just ready for the horn, and the millisecond it hits green, they just lay the horn on, and like
Oh, man.
people and don't ever do this. This is extremely dangerous, but people mess with student drivers, and
That's
I'm
awful.
very scared of people messing with self-driving cars and accidentally committing vehicular manslaughter.
Driving by the Mercedes with the blue light on it, throwing your Coke at the cameras.
It's very scary.
do that.
Do not do
Don't
any
do
of this.
that.
But yeah,
But maybe do it a little.
No.
I know there's a lot of people who mess with EVs, and I don't
do
think
that.
I want to see people messing with.
Well, the EVs that are
self-driving
self-driving and that are obvious now, they're like super. There'd be like a Waymo with like
Yeah.
12
Yeah.
sensors on it. So like, yeah, people throw stuff on. People literally put cones on the nose of the car just
Yeah.
to troll it, and it
Yeah.
stops the car in its tracks. Like that's already a thing that happens. So this isn't going to change that. It's just this is an extra layer of you're in a neighborhood and you're about to cross the street and you look to your left and you see a car coming and it's got the blue light on. Maybe I'll wait an extra second for that
Yeah.
one.
And
you
most
know?
people will not know what it means.
Just-
I would say
just in case.
pro tip: always wait the extra second when there's a car
Well,
involved.
if you see a person in the front seat going like this,
Fair.
they're driving. But if you see a person who looks like they're looking at you, but they're clearly not controlling the car, it's good to know that they're not controlling the car.
Or they're asleep.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's a headline I thought was interesting.
I like being overly cautious. Have you ever seen like a car coming and it's gonna make a turn where you are and its blinkers on? I always wait to make sure they make the turn. Because the chances that that person might just have a blinker on and blow past the turn or decide, oh wait, I'm not turning here, and then you start making,
Jersey,
Be
we have the
careful.
opposite problem usually.
There's no blinkers in Jersey
Exactly.
by law,
They just make the turn. They don't ever indicate.
and it has to be over 2 lanes every time.
I
you
was
do.
behind a person on the highway today on the way to the studio who drove in the left lane with her right blinker on for over a mile. And then when she finally changed lanes, she put her left blinker on to turn into the right lane.
Her controls are inverted.
And then I passed
She
her
forgot.
and she was on her phone.
Just from Australia.
It was unbelievable. That's New Jersey for you.
I lived in Philadelphia for many years, which is on the southern border of New Jersey, for those unfamiliar with the geography. And in Philly,
West.
we refer to something as
Born and
the
raised.
Jersey slide. Because when you have to drive into Jersey to do something, a Jersey slide is when someone merges 3 or more lanes at once without their signal.
Yeah,
Nice.
because I need to be in the fast lane until the exit. I'm
No,
just
no,
kidding.
it's the opposite. It's always people going from the
the
fast lane going, there's my exit.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I want to be in the fast lane. I'm not gonna lose time on this.
All right, enough Jersey talk, guys.
We went-
I
that
know
was a-
this is in our bio.
That was a stagger of like
Jersey
good
talk.
car tips and bad car tips, and
Yeah.
pick the good ones.
All right,
Anyway, let's do trivia.
let's do trivia. It's been a long episode.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome back to Trivia, everybody. We've got 2 banger questions today, if I do say so myself. Question number 1. As part of All the Verge's awesome coverage of this Google lawsuit, Chaim Gartenberg covered a secret Google program intended to butter up and keep developers in the Play Store. What was this program called?
By the way, Jaime is at Google now, which is ironic.
It's funny. You report on Google and they're like,
Did I read an old article and not...
Yeah, he probably.
Yes,
probably was.
this is from 2021.
Yeah, he's probably covering it in
can you read it
2021.
one more time? I forgot the question.
Oh, you know what? This is part of the Epic lawsuit. No, this is the same
I
lawsuit.
forgot I don't. What's,
It's part of
all
the
a
Epic
lawsuit.
lawsuit.
Yeah. Okay,
It's,
I was
it's all
right.
Play Store. Sorry, I got.
Oh
We're-
no, it sounds like
that's-
you
that's
pencils
the-
down.
I
No, come on.
don't know the question.
Like,
What's the
we
question?
were yelling at each
What's
other.
the
Yeah,
question?
okay. That is going to stay in the episode because that is useful context. I
Yeah.
should have looked at the date when I was writing this trivia question.
Jaime is a great person, by the way.
Yeah.
What's the question?
Okay, Google had a secret program, and the goal of this program was to keep developers using the Play Store instead of letting them pull an Epic. So, what was this program called? Marquez, I'm giving you till right now. Now. Right now.
I'm wrong anyway. It doesn't matter.
I know.
All right.
All right. Let's flip them and read. Anyone?
Project Hug.
So I said Project Hug.
Which is the correct
Which is
answer?
correct.
I said Operation Grilled Cheese.
No, but that's pretty
because
pretty
it
good.
buttered up.
Oh.
Mine doesn't even make that much sense.
Wait,
Mine's probably listening.
Operation Sweet Tooth.
I like that
not
too.
bad. That's a good answer.
We
All
offer
of
them
those
treats.
those could be real Google programs too. But yes, Project Hug was what it was referred to around the house. I believe the official name was the Apps and Games Velocity Program.
Wow.
Yes.
Very stealthy.
Question 2 about ActivityPub, everyone's favorite decentralized social networking protocol except Blue Sky, apparently. It's actually an iteration on an earlier protocol with a very similar name. Is it A, ActivityPub, a decentralized proof-of-stake protocol that mined the cryptocurrency meme coin, Dogecoin? B, ActivityPump, a reference to a decentralized protocol being an activity pump, which feeds an activity stream. C, Shacktivity Pub, an early investment venture of Shaquille O'Neal started off the hot 2010s hype of Facebook. Or D, Activity Plum, a full social network platform which used purple as a visual distinction from its main competitor, Twitter. Do we need time to think about this? I feel like you
I
have
think we
lots
all
of time.
wrote our answers.
I'm ready. Yeah.
We all ready?
I did.
Are we all confident?
Oh wait, no, I need to add
Martez is taking artistic license.
I did some art on mine.
All right. Well, why don't we flip and read them? Who wants to go first?
We all said something different.
Okay.
No, I did. Same as you.
Okay.
No.
Yep.
Okay. I said. Wait.
No, yeah. Yeah. Sorry. For those, Marquez wrote the letter B, but it's a dog woofing the letter B,
which
is
be A, activity
yeah.
pump.
Right, but I wrote B.
Okay, I also wrote B, activity pump.
Yes.
I'm
Activity.
so good at being wrong.
It's like
on
when you write brown, but you write it in
Yeah.
yeah. Or shake your head yes and say no.
Yesterday they spelled it S-I-E or something.
I did plump. I like that. Yeah.
Alas, that would have been cute, but no, it was activity pump from pump.io.
I did a guy pumping his hand.
A lot of fingers.
That's 5.
It's just 5.
So that brings our scores to Marquez with 19 points. David also with 19 points.
Oh, here we go again.
And Andrew
also with 1.
He was gone for parental leave. Give him a break. Give him a break.
9. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. 13
You carried too many ones.
points. You carried 6 extra ones specifically.
Isn't this what happened last season? Is that Marquez and I were tied, and then I just totally got
The
destroyed?
points mean nothing.
Or maybe I was above.
The final score was like 400 points.
Yeah,
I think. So,
It's all about multiplication, baby.
Yeah.
Well, that's been it. Thanks for listening with us. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope you have a happy holidays. We got more stuff coming for you, but obviously it's all holiday themed and related, or actually end of the year themed and related. So stay tuned for that. Until the next one, catch you later. Peace.
Waveform was produced by Adam Molina and Ellis Rovin. We're partnered with the Vox Media Podcast Network, and our intro outro music was created by Vane Sill.
Yo,
Where are we going with this?
I had my music on shuffle yesterday,
Uh-oh.
and Hey Ya from Outkast came up,
Uh-huh.
and that's the first time I really listened to the lyrics of the song.
It's
and
depressing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah.
I know the
The song is sad.
一起来建设绵绵岛吧！